In this video, we're going to look at vector subtraction. So we have the vector AB and we're going to subtract off the vector CD. So when we perform AB minus CD, then it's equivalent to saying the vector minus CD is the same as the vector DC. So that is, if we have the vector C to D, which is in this direction, the negative of it is the same vector but in the opposite direction. So it means that what we can do is we can then add on again nose to tail. But this case here, the nose is going to be this side here, which is D, and the tail is this side here, which is the C. So we're going to add on vector AB plus vector DC. And that's going to go up along here, down along here. So it's equivalent to going from this point A to point C. So in effect, we're generating this vector here from A to C, which is along 2 and down -1. And we can see that here within the mathematics. We have vector AB, which is along 1 and up 3. So that's this one here, 1 and 3. Vector CD is along -1 and up 4. So that's -1 and up 4. Vector AB minus CD is the 1, 3 minus -1, 4, which gives us a value of 2 minus 1. And that's the 2 minus 1 here, which is the final answer. And again, I've noted here that if we were to write the vector minus CD, that's the same as saying the vector DC. So the whole thing here is equivalent to saying vector AB plus vector DC, and that's what you see here, vector AB plus vector DC. So let's have a look at this within the assembly language. On the right hand side we have the calling function, on the left hand side we have the subroutine. So in the calling function we're now calling the vector subroutine as opposed to the vector add. So it's got a different address. On the left hand side, the only thing that's changed in the code is the fact that we are now subtracting R0, R1 as opposed to adding it. So this is really the only change. And that's us finished. We can now go ahead and we can go to terminal, run task, assemble file, and it comes up with assembly successful. And again, we can choose the calling function, terminal, run task, assemble file, and you see it comes up with assemble successful. So we can go ahead and we can load this code here, the machine code, output from this into the ROM, and then we can load the program into the RAM and we can see it working. So let's go ahead and we will do that now. Now I have decided to use the actual values that we've seen in the example. So the vector AB is going to be 1, 3 and the vector CD is going to be -1, 4. So whenever we subtract these off, we'll have 1 minus -1, which will give us the 2, and 3 minus 4, which gives us the -1. So let's see that working now. I have loaded the subtract subroutine into the ROM and the calling function into the RAM. So let's run this now. So I've slowed it down a bit so we can see what's happening. We're loading the values into the memory, and then we're going to load the values that we require into the registers, and you'll see that happening in just a moment. And you'll notice that one of the values is a negative value, which is -1, which is FFFF in the 2's complement. So that's worked through and it's cleared off all of the register values, and that's it finished. So let's stop the simulation and we'll go in and we'll have a look and see the results. So when we head down to this line here, 500, we've got the value 1 and the value 3, and also the value -1 and the value 4. So this is our vector AB and our vector CD, and it is of length 2, and when we go through the subtraction we get the value along 2 and down 1. So that's along 2, and that's a value of -1. So that works fine. So let's now move on to a different vector function. Thank you for listening. I'll get you on the next video. Goodbye.